I know.
We're not going anywhere, Lisa.
I see the live on Facebook, son.
Hmm.
I see the live on Facebook, son.
All right, so it's go time. So real quick, let's go around the horn and introduce yourself. I'm gonna start with Joe Mo.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jomo Jackson of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm currently going through a separation, so I'm eager and anxious to hear separation from marriage, I should say. Eager to hear you guys' questions and just give you great answers.
All right, thank you, Joe. Mark.
Mark Mark Adams. Currently live in Southern California, Los Angeles. Was a resident of Florida. Um, Currently in my second marriage of eight 8 years. Oldest son, 26. Have a daughter, 23, that currently resides there in Florida. Looking forward also to hearing some of these educated black men speaking.
Uh,
All right, Chris, take it away.
all right, Chris, I live in South Florida. I've been divorced probably about 15, 16 years. I don't remember. It's been so long. Uh, and I'm single. I'm currently single.
All right, mentor.
Jensen Mentor Cox here. My name's an acronym. Mentor stands for Making Effective Nationwide Teachings of Realism. Spoken word artist who is with one divorce under my belt. And but I'm currently happy right now with beautiful woman, Quinetta Thomas, two beautiful daughters, and a newborn, a 6-month-old. Zion. Y'all pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, life's better than it was.
Oh, that's what's up. Oh, and congratulations on your newborn. A lot of everybody else is out the diaper stage, but it's a beautiful time and it goes by super fast. So please enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I heard a common theme in your introductions that I'm gonna kick off with. So divorce. Quick question. And I have one under my belt as well. But I'm curious to know, for those of you who have one or even going through separation, what has divorce taught you about relationships?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What has divorce taught you about relationships?
Not to quickly rush into getting married again, not to let the pressure of what everybody else wants you to do with your life, like family, friends, everybody can fall in love with your significant other and say, hey, get married, get married, get married. To not rush right into it.
Okay.
I would say one of the things that definitely taught me of being married is understanding that there's going to be a change in that person once when you become married and living together. You always think the person, so first marriage, you think the person always going to remain that way. Something about a marriage, and you realize, no, it's not. I don't care what you do, that person is going to become somebody different. A couple of years after you've been together, you went through some hard times, some tribulations. Experience is going to bring out who you truly are within a relationship.
Mhm.
So what divorce taught me was that just prepare for that. Try to and understand that's going to happen. It's a natural flow that marriage is going to go through, and you just have to change with it, change with the person instead of trying to make them continue being the person they was 3 or 4 years ago when they was 19 or 21. So that has
Yeah.
taught me.
Okay.
One thing that I learned is that how much people judge marriage, how much people feel that because you're going through a divorce, especially as a man, that you gave up. When really and truly it's like things led up to the for us to want to step away, and someone gave up on us way before we gave up. But just seeing how people just look at the divorce and want to judge you because of divorce, and they want to put everything together when they understand that sometimes things don't work out, and it's better to I say quit while you're ahead, instead of just quitting. Separate, go your separate ways, and like they say, take your time to find yourself, and then if you want to go back down that road, do it again. But just how people look at divorce and think that is just the worst thing ever.
Okay. Chris, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I agree with Mark on the evolving part and Joe on the outside influence. But me, my introspection in regards to divorce is this. For me personally, I realize I have to be more romantic. Yeah.
You call it rosemantic?
Yes.
Rosemantic.
More romantic. I have to do stuff like that, cater to emotions. You understand? I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I realized that I was more leaning towards treating a woman more like an object, and I'm here, and because we as men, we're not that emotional, especially me. So I realize now that I have to cater for that and stop being so self-centered, but
Yeah.
that's my lesson.
That's a good I like the insight you shared on that, because I'm pretty sure you and all of you may have been very romantic when
Rosemantic.
rosemantic, right? I'm sure when you're dating, you activated that romance and that extra effort to court and that extra, that spontaneousness of showing that you are interested. I don't know what happens after y'all get, as my dad would call it, the cookie, that makes that kind of fall off, but we can visit that a little bit later. But I'm glad you brought up that whole dance part, because it's easy to leave that behind after some time. I want to know, what are your top 2 favorite things about Black women?
Cricket.
You want to start with? Let me start then. You want to go, Mark?
No, I was saying cricket.
Oh, all right. One of my favorite things, right? And this is physical attribute standpoint. I like the skin. Okay. And then I like the rhythm of a Black woman. And I'm not talking about dancing alone. I'm talking about the whole appeal.
What about the appeal? What's like
the rhythm of a Black woman? They move different. They talk different. To me, this is my perspective. They have more. It's more of a deeper soul. More from the soul. I like soul food. It's more rhythm. I like the rhythm. I like the appeal. So I call Spanish women have a certain rhythm.
Yeah.
Now you see how white women don't have any. Well, most of them.
Chris, my wife is white.
Yeah, sure, OJ.
All right. So anyone else want to say?
You know what I would say?
Listen, this is the disclaimer. This is my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. And I actually add on to what Chris said. So since he kind of took one of mine, I'll go with this. What I thought about was variety and strength. And the variety is that, when you say Black woman, you can't categorize a Black woman. Like, are you talking about Black women from Europe or from Jamaica or from America, from Mexico? So when you talk about Black women to me, just something about the Black women with a variety of dark skin to the light skinned Black women, the Black women that have, the long hair, the short hair. It's just so many. If Black women only knew their worth, they would know that the modeling or the world has really been trying to catch up to them. And they're like, Black women have lost that, and they're trying to revert to cosmetology and Cosmopolitan. What's the name of the magazine? Cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan. Yeah. If they trying to be like that, and they don't realize Cosmopolitan is trying to be like them. So the variety and the strength, because I don't care if you can go get a Black woman off Wall Street, something about a black woman that's come up through, and I'll say the traditional black family. Just something about them. They just have a strength about them that can't be compared to any other nationality. So strength and variety.
Okay.
When you first meet a black woman, okay, who hasn't been scorned from you, okay,
That's a disclaimer.
Disclaimer: who hasn't been scorned from
Where would you
yourself?
find her at?
The trust and the truth. See, black women won't pull punches. And they're great motivators, man. Like, say, it's plenty of times I could wake up in the morning feeling lazy, right? Unmotivated, not really wanting to be me at 100%. And there's something about the way a black woman would be very assertive, especially if she loves you, man. If she has a whole lot of love for you and want to pull the best out of you, that melanin gets to popping. And it's so soulful that it cannot come from any other nationality. Like it's hard to explain. And this first question that you have is actually tying into, you know, the poem that I'll be closing the show out with, because it explains exactly of the things that I love about a black woman. So I'll elaborate more on that one later.
Okay. Joe?
Yeah, I just got to say a confident black woman. That's what I like. Not arrogant, but confident. There's nothing like a sister who's just confident about everything she does. It rubs, like he said, it rubs off on you. You know, someone who doesn't need, you know, outside world to dictate their beauty. They don't need social media or anything to dictate their beauty. They just have that confidence within to know that they're a beautiful creature. And whatever they put their mind to, they can do. So I think that's one of the things that I love about black women.
Okay, good stuff, guys. And I love that you added the flair of not needing social media to validate, because as we know nowadays, a lot of people are validating themselves based off how many followers they have, how many likes they have, and you know, it could be a real problem, especially for our young girls, but we'll get into that later. But as we talk about that, I want to ask, what are some trends happening with Black women that get on your nerves? It could be physical, emotional, it could be...
We're going to be here for a while.
Let me tell you. Let me start.
Let me go sit on the couch because I need to get comfortable for this.
Yeah. Get some popcorn too, Mark. Because
and y'all be truthful too now. Don't just because we live and you know they watching, tell the truth now.
Oh no, I don't care.
Man, no, I want them to hear this. Yeah, they need to hear this.
I'll say, so who's gonna start it?
Me, I'll start it.
Okay.
This is what I don't like.
Out of love, remember.
Let me see how I should put it. This thing about being cheap.
Woo!
Love to say, oh, he's cheap, right? If I'm going out with all right, let put it this way. This what happened. Let me just put it in story time. Let me just tell you. I went out with a black girl, right? So she said, okay, all right, a couple friends coming. I said, okay, cool. We get to the club, getting ready to pay to go inside. Her friends ain't got no money. All they have is their ID. So I'm saying, so what's up now? So I'm supposed to pay for you and your friends? I'm not doing that. I said, I'm paying for you. Oh, I'm cheap. Then our friends start saying, oh, I'm cheap. He's cheap. And I'm like, how is it that I'm cheap? I'm going to pay for me. I'm going to pay for the girl that I'm dating. Okay. And then I'm going to buy her drinks. I'll probably buy y'all a couple of drinks. But why is it that I'm obligated? I don't even know y'all. This is the first time I'm meeting you guys. And I'm supposed to pay for you. Why? And because I'm not doing that, I'm cheap. I said, you won't even pay for yourself. You're cheap. You won't even pay for yourself.
All right.
So,
All right, Chris, good one. Do
this
it.
is what I'm saying. And then that right there, because the girl that I was with, I guess she was influenced by them. So she was embarrassed and saying I could have paid and did all that stuff. But my take is this. And then I actually went out with some white girls after, which I didn't really even want to do. But the difference was this. When they go somewhere, there's no cover charge, right? Then I bought a few of them, like some, Coors Light, whatever they drink. It's cheap, Jaeger. And when I buy that for them, they're like this, oh my God, dude, thank you, dude. And then they want to buy me around. And then I noticed something, they actually walk with their purse. But my thing is this, all right, in the grand scheme of things, this is
Chris.
This is my thing, so I don't want to take up too much time. The trend that I don't like about Black women is this. A lot of them don't have their dads. They didn't have their dads around, right? Because he was busy being selfish, right? Now, if you push me to pay for you and pay for all your friends when I can't really afford it because I got a daughter and I got a son, right? You're actually forcing me to be your dad. The same selfish guy who let me do for myself and look good with these chicks and get these chicks, right? And forget my kids. So it's into a vicious cycle. So that's the trend I don't like with Black women at all. And a lot of them, I know it's the man's fault because it starts with the dad, but then the mom gets bitter and she tells him, oh, don't talk to this guy. Don't talk to this guy. He's on fries. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But that's the trend.
Thank you. Okay, Chris. Anyone else want to add? I feel like Chris's experience was very fresh.
Nah, this was years ago.
Oh.
A good memory.
I would say two things. Two things. One, the trend I don't like is Black women not. I don't know if it's enjoying their own hair. I don't know what's up with Black women and the weaves and the wigs. All of a sudden, nobody's walking around with the natural hair. I don't know. So anyway, Alicia, I see the face, but so that's something I can kind of get over.
You like our versatility. You just say you like our versatility.
I do. I love the versatility. But you said the trend. I ain't say the trend was bad or good. The trend is just that a lot of them are just going with the weave and going away from natural hair. Okay. The other trend that I see, and it's kind of contradicted what we're talking about. I know we're talking about Black women, but I always get on women when I hear them say, Black men are so, or Black men are so, and I always ask them, what scientific study have you done to say that you've experienced 10 Black men that's treated you bad, and now you've just come to the conclusion that all 100 million Black men are like this? Because that would be the same thing as us with Black women.
Yeah.
I don't put nobody in a box. You are an individual, and whatever you do, that's what you do. But I get on a lot of Black women or friends. I talk to them, and even my daughter, about stop trying to categorize because of your bad experience as that's just how all Black men are. Because what scientific study have you ran to come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
So that's a trend I'm starting to see a lot of Black women do. Oh, Black men are so, like, I'll give you an example and I'll be done. Chris was just saying, Black men are so cheap and they don't take care of their kids. But do you not know that Caucasians, Native Americans, Italians, they also do the same thing? Right. But for some reason, it's just the Black men that's pointed out when, things go awry. So that's one of the trends I try to educate some of my sisters on. Stop saying all men are until you've dated all men. And if you did, then that's a whole nother word for you. But, we'll get into that later. That's a whole nother conversation. You've had that many.
All right.
Okay. Two things, like you said, two. One, I got to touch on something that Chris said about us being cheap. Now, I'm going to take paying the phone bill, for example, right? Now, a phone bill, let's say that thing about $50 a month, right? A month, meaning it's giving you another 29, 30 days of something in return, right? a lot of times when you meet sisters and you and they have these high expectations, like right off the bat, especially that first date. If that dinner plate ain't somewhere around $75, if that, the expectations is crazy. So it's like right off the bat, don't treat me like I have to be a paymaster. And if I'm not, I'm a sucker or broke or cheap or this, that, and the third. A lot of dudes just want to be able to see if you're okay with a plate of Jamaican food from Jamaica House. We just want to see if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's 365 days of a year. And some days you might, just have to eat regular food.
Right.
Instead of these high, lofty expectations, the first month is like a testing period. She want to see, how much money you'll be able to spend on them.
Yeah.
And not all women are about money.
I was gonna say because
I said not all women, but
not for sure.
We're talking about 2020, right? We're talking about right now.
We are.
So that's one thing. The other thing.
Let me talk on that just for a second.
No, it's not your turn.
Number two, because I know a lot of women who are more concerned with effort versus. Sorry, let me get them quiet. They're more concerned with effort versus the dollar amount that you put forth. So if you actually thought about a picnic on a beach or something that is different and something that takes effort and thought, I know women who that would go way further than an expensive one-time meal somewhere.
Where, Alicia? Where?
I'll DM you the information after.
They're not on here. I don't see them. Where?
We're not talking. We're talking about beautiful, successful Felicia. Let's use the word Felicia for example, right? Now, beautiful, successful Felicia, who's pulling up in an Acura or a Mercedes, is going to look at Effort Tom. Let's call him Effort Tom that's hopping off the bus, okay? Now, Effort Tom can have roses in his hands. He can have a full, beautiful poem to spit to her. Effort Tom can have his kids, well taken care of, but Effort Tom just falls short in the financial department. That's it. And sometimes that's just all it takes for Felicia to turn her head somewhere.
Check out.
But
I do know that there's women like that.
So check it. I said it was two. Now the other one, I'm sorry, the parrot-toe stance in these damn pictures. Okay, listen. I can't stand it. No, I can't stand it. Because if you look at Becky with the good hair, now Becky with the good hair is standing straight up when she takes these pictures, okay? She's like looking dead at the camera and she might just turn her shoulder this way or turn her shoulder that way. That's all Becky with the good hair gonna do. The majority of my black women got to do the most funniest parrot-toe stance with the booty sticking out, or the it's like this. It's like a diamond, right? Why y'all feet got to go like this? Why? I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
For a picture.
I'm done. No, I'm done.
All right. I'm pretty sure this chat might be backs for y'all. So all right, we go. But what I will say to what's his name off the bus, Tommy or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we see their potential and we bring them in, or we still partner with them, that good old saying that, what's his name? I know he's crazy now, but before he was whack, Kanye, they get on. Go ahead and finish it for me.
No.
Because when he gets on, what does he do once he gets his
save it?
You leave it for a white girl?
he leaves you for a white girl.
Nah,
we're good for the build.
That's not a true. That's not a true state. No, that's not a true statement.
I'm not saying it's true in all cases.
So
but
the
it
thing,
happens.
the thing that happens to black women is they look away from that guy with the rose in his hand, and because that other dude may put the front on like he got it, she's gonna live in misery that whole time. And that dude that got off the bus, he's gonna stay humble and gonna stay devoted. He's gonna get where he needs to be, and he's gonna eventually see that girl that left him, and he's not gonna act no type of way because his mentality was never to disrespect her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna show her losses in a different way. So he's not gonna get on and leave nobody, because if that girl gave him the chance, just know what he is and her being able to be there for him in his comfort, he's gonna stay down with her until she starts acting different.
I don't know.
T.I. didn't leave his girl for Becky with the good hair. LeBron James, as much as LeBron gets ridiculed, he married his high school sweetheart. He ain't
One
leave
athlete.
his woman for a white girl.
Wade, Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, but listen to this though, Alicia.
All right, so we only.
The point is this. The point is this. This is the point. The point is this. A man, a black man, will roll. He's rolling, right? And him see, okay, a black girl at the bus stop. She attractive to him. Guess what? It's not a problem. She working at McDonald's. She on fries. Guess what? It's not a problem. You see the black woman. It's a problem. They don't know something that's called build. There's something called building. You can check out the man. The man might have ambitions. The man might have stuff like that, but he's at that place right now. Not everybody can be a baller. All these black women think everybody must be a baller. Everybody must be in the video. You understand what I'm saying? And then when they get this baller now, guess what they have to do? They have to share. They have to share, because that's what you signed up for. You're not trying to build. You're trying to see somebody who have it already. So he's right. The guy at the bus stop with the roses always gonna be overlooked. But the girl with the roses at the bus stop, she's not gonna be overlooked. She don't even have to have nothing in her hand. We don't care. We like you. We like you. You, let me tell you something.
That's real.
What? No. Exactly. So there's a price. You guys kind of put a price with your private. You attach it. You attach a value with it. I'm not giving it to you unless you have this. And that's
now I will say, all right, I will say that there's a certain kind of vibe in South Florida. Yes, I'm originally from Denver. I will say that South Florida is a bit more superficial when it comes to relationship. It is a lot more status driven. It's more brands. What do you have? Like, what's your status? What do you?
True.
It is. I'm not saying other places aren't, but Florida is a little bit more than some places. That I can speak.
Women in South Florida are perfectly fine with sharing a man who has money. Not all of them. I'm going to talk about a few, right? They're perfectly fine with staying single and just being with whoever they want to be with every now and then. And if they want to put,
well, we ain't talking about. So let's set the stage right now, because we ain't talking about those women that like to share. We talking about those real women who are looking to build, looking to have successful relationships, but there is a barrier. So I don't even want to talk about the chicks.
No, I have one. So I know they exist because I have one.
No, they exist.
Yes.
Just what's the percentage?
Right. Well, I mean, that's going to depend. All right. So we talked about some trends happening right now that get on y'all's nerves.
Yep.
How do you feel about a woman? And this kind of goes into what we just finished talking about, but how do you feel about a woman that is more ambitious or financially successful? How do you feel about that?
I think that's sexy. Yeah, I think that's sexy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I never understood a man that gets jealous because his woman makes money. I never understood that. I think that's actually
that's real.
I think that's actually dope. Yeah, like it's like, man, like that sometimes you got to sit back and look and be like, man, that's nice, man. You know, yeah, my girl made this amount of money, man. We good. You know, I'm gonna get there. But right now she she holding the throne right now. That doesn't make you less of a man. You're still king of your castle. It's just right now, her situation is better than what you got going on, but you still got to hold it down.
Let's
I
see.
agree with
And
Joe.
that's the cue right there, because I think sometimes, not all times, the woman can be successful and the man can get lazy with that success and just be like, oh, she got it, I'm good, versus saying, you know what, let me see what I could do to add to.
He's always been lazy. He's always been lazy. He didn't just get like that. He's always been there, and she let him go long. Yeah, he didn't just get lazy.
Alicia, I wouldn't say lazy, and I
yeah,
agree with you 100%. I would say
yeah.
complacent, right? And
Okay.
I agree, it is sexy only if you show me respect. Don't let the fact that because you make more money than me,
Disrespect.
now you start to disrespect me.
Great point,
I'm
Chris.
gonna give you what you need.
Rewind that, Chris.
Essential thing that I need as a man is respect, and I'm gonna give you what you need as a woman, which is affection. You understand? But if you make more money, I think it's very sexy. I'm proud of you and all that stuff. But if you're gonna start acting like because I have more money, this power thing start to come to you. That's where the problem comes. So it's not only the fact that the man is supposed to be able to handle it, but you are supposed to be able to handle it as well. You're supposed to be able to handle the fact that I make less money than you and I'm still your king.
Can I add something to that, Chris? And I'll give you an example. My mom and father, my mother made more money than my dad. My dad wasn't an educated man. He was he's a hustler. He worked like 2 or 3 jobs, but my mom brought in more money. But my mom never let us see him not being the man of the house. He would get his food served first. She'd always tell him, Tav, what are we going to do? Even though 70% of the pot was her money, if not more. What are we going to do? What would you like to do? It was always him still being made the man. So, but so I'm gonna cut it off because Chris already said it. So I want that to be the last thing. What he said is that sometimes it is the man's ego, but a lot of times the woman that don't feel because her friends are in her ear. Girl, if he only making $20 and you making 2,000, you need to find somebody who make 4,000. Why are you with him? And he's doing everything that need to be done, but because you feel, so you're losing respect. But anyway, I'm leaving what Chris said. I don't want to mess what he said up. That was on point, Chris.
All right, and Mark, right, like Joe was saying, that's that outside influence. The female friends.
Yeah. And I just want to add on to that, to kind of like round it out. I'm gonna use Michelle Obama as an example, right? Now, we watched for 8 years, and you can clearly see that Barack would not have gotten that far in life. You can see them coming off the stage like fist pumping each other as they were running. You can see this. You can clearly see Barack doesn't have a degree from Princeton. Barack doesn't have a degree from Harvard. Michelle has both of them, though. So her status, even education-wise, was just on a much more stronger platform than him, but she never rubbed it. We don't know what went on privately, in their own home, but publicly, man, Chris said she was able to let this man wear the pants. So that's all I wanted to add on.
Okay. That was a lot.
You learned something?
That was a lot, but it was good. I mean, I stay learning, right? That's good.
Worse.
The part of, because I know a male's love language is not sex, physical touch, like many would think, but a man's number one love language is honor and respect. Just like how a woman's number one love language is security. We want to feel secure. We want to know that we can be taken care of, whether that's emotionally, physically, financially, mentally, spiritually. We want to be taken care of. So when that love language is not spoken or taken care of on the honor and respect or in the security realm, that's where a lot of issues can come in. Mark, to the point that you had earlier about your mom making more money and making sure that you all didn't see a difference in that. You brought up a point about who ate first, your dad. I'm curious on you all. Who do you think should eat first in your household, the kids or you?
Kids.
I don't have a, even though I grew up in that type of household, because when my kids was younger, I was usually the one feeding my kids. Because at that time, my wife, we had a beauty salon, and she would be there. You know, our beauty salon, she's there till 12 o'clock at night. Then she became a firefighter, so she's gone 24 hours a day. So most of the time, I was making their meals. So it was no big thing to me, even though I experienced it growing up. One experience to me is who I knew they had to eat, and they would eat. If there was only one meal on the table, they would get it before I would.
Okay. All y'all look like you agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I'm not gonna act like, you know, I was always financially stable in our relationship. It's times where the food in the house was very, very, very thin. And I might have looked at that last loaf of bread that was now a half a loaf, and I'll walk right past it and not eat it just so that someone else did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, the payday might be a day or two later, where I would just have to just wait it out, and that's fine. You know, but that's what real men would do. A real man would definitely make sure that the kids would eat first.
Kids eat first.
Kids eat first. Okay. All right. So there is, I'm gonna shift gears here for a second. So you all know about the women's movement. You know how big it is. There's a lot happening to propel women to the forefront. What are your feelings towards this?
It's gonna go right back to it, Alicia. Right back to it. This is the thing. It's good in a sense because the whole reason why you have one is because of oppression, right? By men. Man world, right? This is the thing that I have the problem with. You're so equal, you're so this, you're so I'm your equal, until it's time to come to a date. When we're going to date, all of a sudden, I'm a woman. Let me tell you how bad it is. I don't know everywhere else, but let me just put it right here. South Florida. This Democrat here, right? Even when they're your friend, we're not doing nothing. But just because you're a man and I'm a woman, you must pay for the food and you must pay for everything. Why is that? I'm not telling you as a friend when you come over my house, hey, look, you see the dishes in the sink? You gonna wash that? Huh? You're gonna sweep up the floor? No, I'm not doing that. So why is it that we can't go Dutch? Why is it that a woman can't say, I mean, I'm not gonna act like I haven't met women that did that before, but it's so far and few. You get what I'm saying? Why is it that you're not saying, let me pay for the meal? Since you're so equal. You're so equal. How come when it come on to money, you're never equal? Huh? I'm a woman, ladies' night, yay! We're going to the club. Yay, pay for me.
Chris, you gotta
right.
blame Beyonce, Chris. Let's blame Beyonce. 1 minute in the same club, same night. All the women independent. Same night, same DJ. They don't want no scrubs. You remember the scrubs?
Yeah.
So listen, I blame Beyonce, okay?
Exactly. So it's contradictory.
Yeah.
To me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said if you're gonna do it, it needs to be across the board.
If you do it full 100. You understand what I'm saying? Full 100. So listen here, I got this. Let me open the door for you. Even though I don't want that. I don't want that.
Oh, okay.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, just if you want to be equal and say, okay, there's not a difference, do it all the way. Don't do what suits you. And then step in and say I'm equal when you get what I'm saying? Everything's
got it. Don't straddle the fence.
Self-serving. It's one-sided.
Yeah. Joe?
I ain't got nothing to add to that.
No.
You see, I have a lot of passion.
Again, you do. Look,
Yeah,
Jomo's like,
I think that's one goes back to the
Killing.
last topic. I think women like to box things in, like Chris said, man. It's like I'm a woman, this is going down, but because I'm a woman, I can't do this. The man is supposed to do that. I think that's one of the dumbest things ever, boxing in, and because it throws out the concept of being a team. It can be something so simple. If the garbage can is full and you walk past it, just because you're a woman doesn't mean you can't take the bag out and tie it up. We're not saying take it out, but take a bag out and tie it up and put a garbage bag in there. Because if, as a man, you walk past the sink and the sink is full, I'm gonna wash the dishes. I'm not gonna wait on you. Some women box themselves in and box certain things in when it benefits them. Like, oh, I'm a woman, so I shouldn't do this. But when it benefits them, it's like, oh, okay, well, let's be a team. And I think that right there, yeah, I think that's
You know who I blame too? I blame Babyface.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Soon as I
Babyface
get
started.
home from work, I'll pay your rent. Hold on, wait a minute. My rent is like what, $1,500? Wait a minute now. Babyface in this particular song was talking about paying every dime.
Everything.
Okay,
That's
everything.
right. Yeah, Babyface started that. That's right. Blame it on him.
you said it's his fault. All right.
More estrogen, Alicia.
So in speaking to your daughters, some of you actually have daughters, but in speaking to your daughters, what would be your 2 pieces of advice when she's deciding on a partner?
So this kind of follows what we just talked about. 2 things that I told Imani, because I knew, well, I want to put my daughter business out there, but she liked boys. And I always told her, listen, when you give up the cookie, you gave up all rights. You give up the cookie because for the man at that age, we're predators. We're after the cookie. Now, if you make him prove how he is, make him prove it. You stretch it out as far as you can. Make him prove what kind of man he is. Now, back to what we were just saying. One thing we always taught him money, and what I was brought up with. My sisters and brother, we was all taught to wash dishes, clean the bathroom, take out garbage. Nobody had a girl or boy duty. Everybody did everything. And that's the same thing I told her. I said, listen, when you go out to eat, you pick up the bill. But what you should expect for him to do is say, hey, you know what? I got this. But you be prepared to pay the bill yourself. Now, if you do that and he say, okay, oh, you picked up the first bill. Now, if he continually letting you pick up the bill, then you know what you're dealing with. And one thing I always told her, listen, don't take that as a means of what type of person this is. But that's just one thing you need to put on your list. Okay, I see that, not that he's not cheap, but I see he's not paying the bill. One thing that I always push her, whatever your likes are, you put whatever your desires are, put them on this list, and don't straddle from that list. If they're not meeting what you want to make you happy, then walk away from it. It could be a good guy, it could be a bad, I don't know. But if they're not meeting the standards of what you want in a person or in a partner, don't settle for anything less. But if you give up the cookie, that whole list just went in the garbage. So just to kind of in the nutshell, we always taught her to be prepared to take care of herself. Taught her how to change a car tire, how to go to and get an oil change. You don't need a man for nothing. You don't need a man for this, but you don't let him know that, oh, I can do all this by myself. So we've always taught her to be independent, but also to allow a man to be a man.
Okay. Who else wants to add?
Oh, well, I mean, I really just show my daughter, well, I just pretty much showed her. So I just treat her like a princess, right? All her life. So now she expects that from any man. You understand? And then I also tell her, don't worry about the money, which goes back to what we were talking about. Don't worry about a man with money. And show her guys with money abuse girls certain type of ways. So what I'm saying, whether psychologically, whatever the case is, just find somebody who will willing to build, somebody who complement you, somebody who is compatible with your personality, and make sure him love you. And make sure I meet them.
Well, yeah.
And greet them, because I have a special way. That's a great one.
We'll talk about that later.
That's right, Chris.
Yeah.
Mentor Jomo, anything you want to add on 2 pieces of advice you would give your sister,
I
your
guess-
daughter?
Yeah,
dating?
here's what I would say, because we're in the social media era, right? And a lot of teenage girls, young girls, they like to put videos on, Instagram and things of that nature. Remember, the women, the girls, I always want to remind them that they're the ones that have to be courted, right? So
Yeah.
what you put out there is kind of what you're gonna, the type of bait that you're putting out there is what's gonna come back to you. Meaning, let's say you put a twerk video out, right? Most likely, a guy with his pants hanging down off of his ass or a goon is who's gonna inbox you. I'm just saying that's what the twerk video is gonna do. Now, if you put out a video with you speaking, eloquently, and you're making points, and you can be doing all of this at 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. Guess what? It could be a group of young doctors, a group of young lawyers. Yes, Black brothers are successful in that regard too. They can be watching and they can be looking at, hey, this one is pretty intelligent, pretty nice, pretty, so kind of narrow the playing field down to, it is that because a lot of women, a lot of little girls, they end up with the wrong guys specifically because of what they're putting out there in the atmosphere. So always make sure that the life that you're walking is attracting the right man.
That's true.
And I know our culture has a lot to do with that, whether it's music videos, whether it's lyrics, whether it's what's hot in the moment. Like a lot of times they'll follow what they see, and that could influence a lot of what they put out there. Joe, anything you want to add?
Just kind of harping the same things. I'll tell, like I say this to chicks all the time. Like everybody's basically saying, man, your cookies your most prized possession. You don't really
Hold on.
that up to just any and everybody. And if you do, just expect to know, or how you flaunt it, just expect to know what you're gonna get in return. You can't be on social media like Chris say, or like Mentor say, and be showing everything off and not to expect to be approached in that way. Perception is reality. You want to be perceived as that type of person. Don't put that front on, and just understand that. I mean, I like to say it like not in a way of like, yeah, this is thing, but pussy run the world, in the sense like we need women to reproduce. We need women for a lot of things. So understand how prized and how special you really are if you really protect that thing between your legs.
Okay. All right. So I heard the word courting in one of you all's response. So let me just ask really quick, is courting a lost art?
I would have to say no from just with my nephews and my son. I see them still doing it, so I can't say if it's a lost art. I'm not that out there enough, so I'm gonna let y'all take that one. I don't know. I've seen them still do it, but that's on like a handful of guys.
Yeah, you better. You better not be out there now.
I wouldn't say according to lost art. I would say what has been lost is a lack of respect. The way we're courting is changed, and all of the different dating. It was a time where grocery stores and random places was like the best place to meet women. Now there's so many dating sites. You can get catfished, and oh my god.
Oh, right.
You can't get catfish in your face.
I'm dead.
They just put on some makeup, and when they take it off, they look totally right in my face.
Right. All right. A couple more questions for you guys. What are your top 3 non-negotiables? top 2 or 3 non-negotiables.
A good one. I didn't write that one
That's
down.
for like what, in a relationship with her? Yeah, okay. I can't this one is gonna sound a little bit shallow, but I can't do it.
I could almost guess it, Chris, but I don't want to say it.
Snoring. I can't.
What'd you say?
Listen, you can snore, but you can't do that big old cow snoring. You can't do that. Another thing that non-negotiable, I like it, I love it actually, when a woman bathe, take a shower, you understand, not just one time for the day, but don't come in from work somewhere and then I just see you jump in the bed and you just, what? Or you just take a shower in the morning and then after you've been on the road all day. So that's important to me, so hygiene, all right? And loyalty. Yep. Non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to agree with Chris. Hygiene, definitely that's not negotiable. Yeah. Not hygiene. Respect. Yeah, I'm not gonna even not respect me any type of way. My respect is number one, and number two, that goes alongside with loyalty. Those two are the top two of anything. You know, that could be 1, 2, 2, 1, however you want to do it. Those 3 things, I would never renegotiate or negotiate just to try to make you feel good, because once you lose those, especially respect, there's no coming back from it, man. Yeah, you might as well say loyalty goes out the window once respect goes out the window.
True.
Okay.
Excellent point. One, you got to pass the mama test.
Oh yeah.
My mama, listen.
Oof.
She can't hate you. She might not have to love you. Listen. I'm the one that has to be with you, so she doesn't have to like be head over heels and love you. But my mama can't hate you, and it's a big difference. Like, you got to pass the mama test.
Mm.
You know,
Wait, let's talk on that mama
Bahamian.
test.
And Bahamians are high on respect and all of that other stuff,
Yeah.
and morals and this, that, and the third. You know, island parents. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That filter is already going to kind of bring in a good woman.
Yeah.
Pass the mama test. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn, boy, that snoring, I ain't gonna lie. Christian, you can't have a dragon snore. You know what I'm saying? You know, a dragon, it can't be something like that to where, you know, you got to go sleep on the couch now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty funny.
Third deal breaker, you know, I don't know. I'm definitely not the jealous type. But all men, you know, in the back of our minds, we love to know and believe and sleep good at night, knowing that you ain't not there giving out cookies away.
Yeah.
That's another kind of deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be in my face with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the disrespect, giving it away, and having guys calling your phone all hours of the night, and like, you got women out there that they ain't even trying to hide it. They just gonna let you know you could be replaced. You're the only one that. Yeah, those are the 3 deal breakers.
Okay. Okay, good stuff.
To let you know the options they got. I got a lot of options.
Yeah, you want to rub that in?
Like y'all don't do the same thing.
No, listen.
For some of my girls, but okay.
All right, this is the thing, Alicia. No matter how much we get attention as men, right? It's just a fraction of the attention that you get out there. Especially if you're talking about down here in Florida where you have the demons and the sharks. Right? Get so much attention that it just full your head. So sometimes I have to remind them that no tree grow in my face. Somebody can like me too. It's not just you. you know, because they're so full of themselves. But like I said, maybe it's just here.
Sound like all us need to get the hell away from South Florida.
Yeah, man, but I can't.
I'll just say I know some really, really good women. Some are in South Florida, but I mean it's the same with men, right? You got some worthless ones here, and then you have
Worse
here. So
yeah,
Believe you me,
get to
guys,
that.
it don't change. I'm way on the West Coast, and it don't change.
And it don't
change.
change.
No matter where you go.
All right, so 2 more questions. What are the top 3 qualities you look for in a woman? So I know what your favorite things are about Black women, but when you're looking to settle down and you're thinking about the mother of your kids and someone that you can spend your days with, even after the looks change and after the physical appearance kind of starts to, you know, what are some of your qualities that you look for?
all right, first one for me, let me just start it off because I'm gonna be quick. All right, so she have to have a good sex drive. You get what I'm saying? Can't be too high. You get what I'm saying? But it definitely can't be low. All right.
It's too high a bad thing,
No,
Chris?
no, that's not gonna work. All right, so you're gonna learn for the things in your sleep. You understand? But that is one. Another one is, like I said, definitely what I like in a woman is I like dedication. I like a woman that's dedicated. See what I'm saying? To her family and to her relationship, to the point where that she don't cheat or anything like that. And I like a woman that's somewhat sapiosexual, right? Which means I'm turned on by intelligence. So if the woman not able to stimulate my brain and have certain conversations and have open mind and show me certain things, then I'm gonna get turned off.
Oh, so not the butt
No
injections.
airhead.
Let me write that down. Okay, so
Right.
not.
So that's
all right, good stuff. All right, Chris.
I think that's a lost thing too, and that goes back to one of our topics. Women think that we care about the big butt and the big boobs and all that. All those are just add-ons. Yeah, like I said, if they can't stimulate your mind with a conversation, you all I need you for is one time. So I don't really see a future with you. So that big butt and the big thing, you know, I'm just one time fine. I'm going on with my life because I know there's nothing with you. But definitely key conversation. Like sometimes you want to have those conversations, especially in some of our fields and some of our worlds where we're trying to go and with an airhead who can't articulate some of the things you're saying or just know the one-stop answer or the hood girl answer, I should say. You know, I want somebody who could talk to me or even start a conversation, you know, just to be like, you know what, you know, I never thought about that. You know, let me
provoke your thought.
Yeah, but yeah, the booty and the titties. I mean, y'all wasting y'all money, man.
I mean, we're not dismissing that, but we're just saying that's not the most important thing. It's not the most important thing. So,
yeah, it's not the most important thing. No.
Just want to put that disclaimer out there. I would say mine is respect. Shoot, Lisa, Alicia, what was the question?
3 qualities or some qualities that you look for in a woman.
Okay, respect, and as the gentleman already said, open mind, you know, being able to carry on the conversation. What I learned, you know, goes back to our earlier conversation. What I learned in the first marriage is that body is going to change. Very few women are able to keep that 20-year-old body looking 20-year-old when they hit 40.
And men.
And men, yeah, especially men. I mean, both of us. So that was expectation that I had on myself. Like, oh man, what's going on? But that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. So for women who are putting a lot of, you know, a lot of time into your body, that's gonna change. So it got to be keeping my mind stimulated, able to conversate, able to not argue but conversate, even when the worst. And I tell you, this is to me, this is a deal breaker. When shit break off, and excuse my verbiage for the word shit, but when shit break off, how do you deal with it? Because we can sit in and argue all day and night, but did we come to a resolution? And that's why sometimes I wish early in a relationship, something big happened just to see how you're gonna deal with it. Because I'm telling you, that makes the difference in a relationship. On when things go wrong, can we sit down and talk about it, or pots are gonna start flying around the house?
Good point.
I mean, financially, or whatever the situation is, can we
How do you handle
talk
it?
about it? Yeah.
It's a
How do you
very
handle it?
valid point. Recovery.
Yeah.
Mentor, you gonna close that out, that question?
Yeah, you know, it's a spiritual warfare out here.
Yep.
She got to believe in God. That's one of the first things
Yeah.
that I look. Reason being, you got a lot of snakes out here. Slithery, slimy, slithering snakes. That want to suck the blood out of a man. Storm, you know? And if you got evil in your heart, we can't deal. It ain't but two spirits. It's good and evil. So she has to believe in God. I'm with an apostle right now, actually. So God bless me in that regard. Another thing that I look for, quality, cook. I mean, cook. Listen, I ain't talking about that, you know, Roman noodle or hamburger helper cooking. Talking about throwing down. You want to keep a man's attention? I'm talking about keeping it now. You can get a man's attention. But to keep it is different. You gotta, you know. And third. What is the third thing? You know, compatibility is so huge. Reason being, we can give all of this great relationship advice, right? And what will work for you may not work for me.
Right.
What'll work for Chris may not work for the gentleman. And it could be the best advice. It could be on point.
Yeah.
But because every specific human being is different, like the other gentleman was saying, once you marry a person over the years, they can evolve and change on you. So what's going to happen then? You got to be able to know that you're with somebody that can evolve and change with you. You got to be able to kind of see that in a person. If not, you know, any little thing can end the relationship. Anything. Throw the whole man away. Throw the whole woman away.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go back to compatibility. There got to be some things in common. You know, I read this one post where a girl was like, "Listen, if you don't like Jay-Z, right then and there, don't even call me." Oh, like wow.
Oh.
But those are her rules. She loves Jay-Z so much.
Yeah.
She loves Jay-Z so much that she's not gonna let you disrespect him.
Wow.
That's just where she's at. So it all go back to compatibility.
Well, let me echo something that you just said, because it's true. It goes back to compatibility. Because for me, if she can't cook, it's not a deal breaker for me. Because I can't cook, and I don't mind cooking. You understand? And then just to get a little history, in my household growing up, it's my dad that did most of the cooking, and not my mom. But the point of the matter is, if it don't bother me, it will work. Yeah. Because I've seen them work. I'm almost 50, and I've been together for a long time. And she does, it's not that she can't cook, but he does most of the cooking. Okay. Probably about 95% of the cooking. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't mind that. So it goes back to compatibility. Depends on what you like. You see what I'm saying? But if she's not gonna cook and I don't mind that part, it's gonna work.
Then it'll work out. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I know we're coming up on our time. I have one more question, but I do want to pause for a minute and thank the viewers that are tuning in. And for those that are in the chat, go ahead and type in some questions, because I'm pretty sure that this is going to need a part 2. A lot of dialogue happening and a lot of insight being shared. I don't see this being a one-time thing. So I thank you fellas ahead of time for round 2. But as we transition to this next question, what is one or two things you feel women should know about men that you feel women don't understand?
That we are simple creatures. Men are so simple. It does not take a lot to keep us happy, to keep us uh, in check. It really doesn't. Uh, I would say respect uh, is just something that you have to. I guess you have to know how your man wants to be respected, because everybody wants to be respected in different ways. It goes back to what the poet said. You need to know how your man likes to be respected.
Mm-hmm.
What it is, because believe it or not, in a relationship, it's really, to me, it's a woman that runs the relationship. You know, there's a say a happy
Amen.
wife, happy life. If the woman don't know how to please her man and make him feel worth, feel love, he's not gonna reciprocate. He's not gonna be able to reciprocate that back.
Mm.
Right.
So I would definitely say, yeah, it's all about respect and knowing your partner.
Mm. Okay. Joe Mo?
I want to, yeah, I definitely say respect. The biggest thing, yeah, we are simple. A lot of times women think that they may look at you and always think that it's, man, I have to jump over the moon to make sure this person is taken care of, or man, I gotta go to the extreme. Where sometimes, man, we're good with you just making us some nachos, or sitting down and watching them. You don't have to get dressed up and go out all the time.
Mm.
Sometimes, we good with just sitting in the house and chilling, man. Turn on some music. Let's relax. Yeah, man, a lot of men are simple. There's some men that are over the top, but majority of men are very, very, very simple.
Mm. Okay.
I'm not gonna add on to what them gentlemen said right there, because the constant theme that they use is the word simple, and it's just true. It's just true. You know what that option on social media where it says taken, single, and then the third one is just complicated?
Yeah.
I'll put it this way: the men didn't come up with it's complicated. We didn't come up with that.
No.
No. That's all I'm saying.
Good stuff.
I
Man.
would say, Alicia, I'll say this just real quick. So there's this joke that about it's about just I'll give you the gist of it. A whole a department building that had 7 floors, and the women could go in, but you could only visit one floor, and on each floor there was a man, a different type of man.
Ooh.
So as you went up in the building, the men became more, men with money and fame, men with money, fame, and this and that.
Okay.
And when you get up to the last floor, the 6th floor. So if you opt to go to the 6th floor, it says there's no more men. You can't be pleased. Leave the building.
Oh.
Wow.
On the other side of the street, the same building for men to go in.
Oh.
Men, and the 1st floor was for women with money. 2nd floor, women who love sex. They said, other than that, no man has ever visited the 3rd floor. Because they was sex and money, and men were happy. They don't need to know nothing. They didn't need you to have nothing else. So that's why I'm telling you, we are simple. We simple. We don't need all of that. Although y'all bring all that to the table, that's good, but we don't need all of that.
Okay.
We don't need no roses. We don't need no chocolates. But this is what I have to say. But I still respect it because you're emotional. No, I do. Right? But this is what I say. This is my advice to women. Listen, stop giving me a little area, designated area, and telling me this is the man cave. Okay? Stop giving me a little area and telling me that I can go and go play with my friends over here. You take over the whole house. You understand? You have to recognize what kind of man you're talking to, right? Recognize what kind of man you're talking to first. Maybe some guys will do that. Oh, yes, you gave me a look over here, right? But me, I grew up, my father, like I said, he did the cooking and everything, but guess where was the man cave was? The whole house. The whole house is the man cave, and that's where he resides. So that's my advice. know the man that you're talking to. Don't give me a little area and tell me go play over there while you and your friends have the whole house.
Hey, Chris, thank you. I have that jotted down. I heard the passion behind it.
You're welcome.
That one definitely had a lot of passion to it. Fellas, I thank you so much for your time today. This was so much fun. This was valuable. I hope you all had a great time. But before we go, we had the opportunity to be blessed with, or he's going to give us a piece that he's worked on that is very fitting for this topic. For those tuning in, if you don't know, you're about to know about Mentor. He is one of the best spoken artists that I've ever encountered in my 28 years of life. But with no further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Mentor.
First of all, I'm always humbled to hear, you know, how people receive, you know, my poetry. And it's a blessing to know that I had that kind of effect on your life and on the life of others. You know, relationships. And one of the reasons why I picked this particular poem, because, you know, I've been saying quite some time now, the best way for the Black community to kind of get back to where we need to be in unison and in working together with the rest of the nationalities around the world. Relationships play a huge part in it. And we keep downplaying it because of all of the relationship issues and breakups.
Mm-hmm.
So quick to like be single. When, you know, a lot of times we just got to stick together as a unit to push forward as a unit. So this particular poem right here, and we don't know how to identify with our feelings.
Did I mention that that's probably the whole second piece topic is men and their feelings?
That's true.
Identifying with our feelings. We got to know what it is, right? So I'm not going to give you the end of the poem. I'm just going to give you the whole poem, and then you'll see what I mean when I get to the end.
Okay.
So here we go. I think I might be falling in like with her. See, I don't just throw that word love around loosely. The majority who do is after your booty and not your beauty. And I'm certainly talking about the beauty residing inside of you. Impossible to get tired of you. I see myself in your reflection. See, your facial expression is suggesting that you might be falling in like with me. If we get any closer than this, then the next step could mean that you're the wife for me. But we can take time, see there's levels to this relationship before holy matrimony. I've never had a wife, a best friend, a significant lover, and a homie wrapped up in one. I say I think I might be falling in like with her. Never seen a combination quite as nice as her. I'm thinking about you before I say my prayers in the morning. Then you're stuck in my head ever since. So in the sense, I pray for you every morning, which means I've fallen deep in like with her. I don't even do love poems, and just look at how I write for her. I'm inspired by the way she exercises. What she shows you is what you get, so there's no surprises and no limit to the sexual healing. We make love with passion and feeling, and you know how to satisfy this king. The way I take control over any situation makes my queen cream, dripping moisture from her pearl oyster clean. I mean, I think I might be falling in like with her. She made me break up with my fears and marry my passion, and now we're honeymoon. My watery mouth has me drooling. I caught a back spasm from our last orgasm. Ooh, in my fooling, it's obvious that I've fallen head over heels and like with her. Bob Marley and Lauryn Hill reminded me to turn the lights down low for her. A candlelight dinner, flowers and candy to bring out the kinky pro in her. Notice I didn't say the hoe in her because, well, hoes for everybody. And I'm so glad that you're not, which makes me believe that I've fallen deeply in like with her. I mean, I don't even do love poems, and just look at how I write for her. She's in my future, so I'm making the ultimate sacrifice for her. Making effective nationwide teachers of realism will pay the ultimate price for her. And Jensen Cox is optimistic about serving Christ for her. Finding a woman that's so rooted in God that I had to seek his face first in order to find her. In order to have some kind of balance in my life, she balances everything out like a loyal partner. Specializes in making me feel good, so I call her my doctor. I'm the director, she's the author. I'm the rhythm, she's the beat. I want her every day of the week. I'm the sperm, she's the egg, and I'm a sucker for her bow legs, man. I'm the one that's making it hard. This is clear as day that I prayed to the man up above for her. Man, let me finally take charge, because I swear to God that I've fallen deeply in love with her.
Hey, I got a question, man. That was very good, by the way.
Oh.
I see you getting all, calm down. Okay.
Too late, Chris. She
Tranquilo.
gone.
Okay,
It's too late. She gone.
It's all right, but you know, I want to ask you something. Your
Yes,
lady
sir.
that you're currently with, she got bow legs?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Try this, huh?
She better.
Good job, man. Good job.
That was
Nice.
so
Real nice.
dope.
Hey, that's
Real
a
nice.
great question, though. I'm glad you. That's a great question.
No, I was listening now. Yeah.
Hey, even my son got bow legs now.
Nice. That was good. That was good.
The first, that's what he said, Gentlemen's Forum. You guys were amazing. And I'm excited to see the impact that this conversation had on the lives of those viewing. So again, thank you for your time. This was so much fun. Enjoy that poem though. Oh,
Great way to end it. Great way to end it.
he went in.
Pleasure talking to each and every single last one of you. Hopefully we can have a chance to do this again, because I got a lot from, each individual that said something, and you as well. God bless you.
Yeah, I agree. Unity is strength. And we can do different topics too. And you can put some more, especially this is what's surprising to me. I would think this is more like an estrogen topic. I'm just saying.
You said it's like an estrogen thing.
It's not but testosterone. Where are the females?
You're saying I need to add more women on here?
Yeah, where are they?
They're in the comments. They're viewing.
No, but what I'm supposed to be here. I'm here.
Yeah, but
Chris, don't worry with that.
Women
Chris, with that.
We just want to see more women.
Give you all a platform to speak freely without us being there, right? But since you're saying that the next one should have less testosterone and more intertwined.
Chris, don't worry. Chris, don't worry with that tank top, boy. You're gonna get a lot of women calling for you. So don't worry. You gotta get plenty of women hitting you on the likes.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. You guys were amazing. Thank you again, and I appreciate your support.
All right.
Bye, Joe, Mark,
all right.
mentor. Good night.
All right. Nice meeting you guys.
Peace.